This video is brought to you by Longoni Cues.
Is it driving you crazy that you're missing shots like this? Or this? Or we've all been there for the win, something like this. Combinations can really make you doubt yourself. Why did I miss such an easy combination? You do not understand it. I've been there, but in this video, I've got the answers for you. I'm gonna share some powerful information with you, why you're missing certain combinations, get you back on track fast, make more of them, and win more games. So let's hop onto my Pro Start table now and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, pool fans, let's start at the very beginning. We get ball in hand. Our opponent left us this, a 1-9 combo for the win. Both balls are lined up to the corner. This is the easiest combination that you can get. Anywhere you put the cue ball here, I suggest you shoot it medium firm. This is the most basic shot there is. That's how it works. That's how you shoot it. Now, let's say the balls are not lined up totally straight to the corner. Now what do? A very basic shot for some, but if you're a beginner player and you've missed this ball and don't understand why, this is why. If the balls are frozen together or very close to, then your first instinct would be, in this case, I have to cut the 9 somewhat that way. That means I have to hit the 1 there. Well, look what's gonna happen if you do that. Let's say we put it here. There's gonna be friction between the balls and the 9 actually gets pushed away from the line instead of towards the pocket. How do we solve that problem? It's actually a very easy fix. Instead of putting the cue ball here, we're actually gonna cut it the opposite way. So we're gonna cut it more towards this rail. In your mind, you're gonna think I'm gonna miss the ball completely, but you're actually gonna throw the 9 into the corner. Don't ask me why. I'm not a mathematical genius and that's not my expertise of this game. There's many YouTube subscribers and fans here that can explain that. If you want to, please do it so in the comments. I'm gonna show you a demonstration of how this works. I'm gonna put the cue ball on the opposite side of what we think we should do. Watch now, just with a nice stun shot, the 9 is going straight into the pocket. So if you've missed that ball before like this with ball in hand, that's the reason why you have to go to the opposite side, cut it the opposite way, and then the friction will push it in the corner. What's the limit? That's kind of hard to say. In this example, I'm about a ball and a half away from the corner. It depends on how clean the balls are also, how dirty your cloth is. Here, ball and a half, still going fairly to the middle of the pocket. Here the 9 is aimed 2 balls next to the corner. I think that's a bit too much. Let's find out. Yeah, you see, that's too much. So about a ball and a half, we'll still throw it in the corner. Any more than that, you're gonna have a hard time. Also, if the balls are not frozen and there's still a slight gap in between them, this system still works. You still have to cut it the opposite side. Go experiment with this, what the limit is. I'm gonna show you an example here. This one just has a small gap. Still have to put the cue ball on the opposite side of what I think. Look at this. Boom, still in the middle of the pocket, even with a slight opening. When the distance between the balls gets just a bit too far, that's when this happens. It starts cutting regularly again and overcutting the 9. That's when we have to put the cue ball on the opposite side, like this. See, then it's becoming a regular cut and now you cut it straight into the middle. So that was part 1, why you're maybe missing combos that are fairly close together and you're hitting them on the right side. You think You're not going in the pocket. Extremely frustrating, but this has just given you some new information. Let's move on to when the balls are more spread out from each other. The reason why you're missing these types of shots in the example above is because now you have to cut the first ball into the second ball and you're gonna give that second ball throw. It's gonna throw away from the original path, not going in the pocket. And if you have no reason why, we're gonna walk you through a quick little speed course of throw. When ball 1, in this case my cue ball, has spin on it, this is gonna transfer onto ball number 2, which is the object ball. And it's gonna kick the object ball away from its original line. So if I aim this ball straight into the corner and I give a lot of right spin, watch what's gonna happen. I'm aiming this straight, high right, it's being pushed away from its original line. Why am I showing you that example? Because let's look at this combination here. Your opponent just missed the 1 and he leaves you this. In order to make this 7, you have to hit it slightly on the right side. When you hit the cue ball on the right side of the 1 is gonna have right spin on it. And as we just saw in the example with the throw, the 1 ball is gonna throw the 7 to a different path. So you might think this is an easy combination, but let's see what happens. If this is the original line to make this combination, I have to aim it there. Let's see what happens without any form of adjustment. The 7 gets cut away from its line. This is super frustrating, but a light bulb should go off in your head now. Like, yes, this has happened to me many times. And what we need to do is understand the throw and make an adjustment. So now, because we know that the 1 is gonna have some right spin on it, it's gonna throw the 7 more to the long rail, we actually have to aim it slightly thinner. And that is what makes playing combinations so tough. You have to make these small adjustments when you're cutting the first object ball. Let's see what happens now. I'm gonna aim the 1 slightly more over here so that the 7 would actually go here. That is to compensate for that throw and friction. So I'm aiming it slightly thinner. It's not easy. Let's see what happens. Giving no spin. We'll talk about that in a minute. There. That was a nice clean shot. I compensated because I gained knowledge over the years of these shots. I was also not very good at them in my 20s. I did some experimenting, studying the shots, and now I have a better understanding. That's why I'm sharing this knowledge with you. If you find this content interesting and you're still watching, please give it a nice thumbs up so it gets spread out to more players just like you. Also consider subscribing to the channel so you won't miss any future uploads, and donations are also highly appreciated. Let's move on. Here's another nice example of a 1-6 combo. First of all, if the angle is fairly flat like this, there's not that much friction and throw. Still somewhat, you have to be aware of it, but once you have to start cutting ball number 1, your first object ball, that's when a ton of friction and throw is being put in place, and you really have to be aware of the situation. What's very important for me also, and I've learned from experience over the years, I want to share that with you, could be the biggest tip of this video. When I have to start cutting ball number 1, the 1 ball in this case, the first object ball, if I have to start cutting that about 3/4 ball hit, half ball hit, where a lot of throw comes into place, then I have learned to not put any spin on the cue ball, because the point where I have to aim on the object ball becomes so critical that with the spin it's very hard and difficult to aim the object ball exactly to where I want it to go. That's from my personal experience. In this case, if the balls are fairly close to each other, you can still really maneuver around and manipulate it with some spin. However, if the balls are more spread out and I start having distances like this, then to put spin on the cue ball is gonna have a massive impact. I do not know exactly where the one is gonna go to compensate for all those things. It becomes too difficult, and I've learned to not put any spin on the cue ball and hit it center, ball, stun, top, draw, you name it, but no left or right. Now in this example, again, this would be the original line. Because of the throw, the one gets right spin, it's gonna kick the 6 all the way to the long rail. So we have to aim it slightly thinner on the 6. We wanna play the 6 here, not here. That means we gotta aim the 1 just a touch above the pocket, right there. And now because we're still trying to run out, this is not the winning 9. We wanna keep the 1 in play. I'm gonna just draw it slightly, no spin. Let's see if we can keep them nicely together. There, that's pretty good. Didn't give any spin on that. Overcut it slightly, and now I still have a good chance to run out. If it would be the winning combination, like this 1-9 combo for the game, then you just want to roll it in to make the pocket play bigger. You don't have to play shape on the 1. So again, you just want to overcut it slightly. But with a nice roll shot, you can make the pocket for the 9 play bigger. Like that. See, no position on the 1, but I don't need it this time. What's also interesting is the transferred spin, high, stun or low, that's being put on ball number 1. The 1 ball in this case again. If we would draw the ball, a combination, the 1 ball actually gets top spin. And therefore it's gonna slowly roll forward. If we stun the cue ball, ball number 1 is left with very little movement. Just a slight little roll through, not much happens. And with a high cue ball, you also get a stop shot effect on ball number 1. But when you have small angles, it even wants to draw slightly back. Here in this example, if I would draw the ball, it's gonna go through the 9 more down table, like that. And now with a high ball, the 1 is not gonna go through the 5, but it's gonna go slightly away from the 5. So it's stunning / minimal draw away from ball number 2. See, it's hard to see, but you see it's taking this path and not that path. The pool scientists can write exactly why this is happening in the comments below. This can be handy to know if you want to play position on ball number 1 after pocketing ball number 2. Do you need to draw the ball? Do you need to stun it? Or do you perhaps even need to play it with some follow? So you can manipulate ball number 1 with the draw, stun or follow depending on what position you need to play next. So to sum it up, we had the friction part when balls are really close together. That could have been why you were missing the combos. Hit the opposite side, remember, to make the ball go in the pocket. Then if there was some more distance and you had to cut ball number 1 into ball number 2, the throw is the thing that could have really gotten you off track. Now you understand why. Overcut the ball slightly when you can, avoid side spin. That gives you a better chance to aim ball number 1 exactly where you want it to go. And then lastly, try to experiment with draw, stun and follow for position play. There you go, pool friends. I'm sure you gained some new knowledge in this video. Now be on your way, make more combos and close out more racks. Don't forget to check out all the other great content on the channel. There's playlists and topics here for everybody. And remember, if you're finally ready to work on the most important part of your game, the mental side, head over to the Terminator College and join the many hundreds that are already studying there right now. See you in the next episode.